Before we get started with the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. We're at 850 subscribers, 150 away from 1,000, and it's just been an awesome ride. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in a while, but we're back right now. Make sure you guys click that like button, click that subscribe button, and let's get into it. It's been a while, YouTube, but we're back, and today we're doing a holiday party. Got the van packed up. We're bringing some extra speakers, some extra lighting. It's gonna be a fun one. Make sure you guys stick around all the way until the end. I'm gonna drop some bonus tips for you guys if you're struggling with your holiday parties. Let's get it going. Just got to the venue and I just want to show you guys the cocktail hour space. This is our space for cocktail hour. They purchased 2 additional speakers for this room. So we're gonna have a Maui 5 Go right there. And we're gonna use, just so we don't have a lot of cables, a mess. This place is beautiful. We're gonna use the X-Vive tonight and transmit it right over to that one. And we'll just have a cocktail hour playlist connected with an iPad on Bluetooth. Minimal cables tonight. We shouldn't need any cables. We'll just need that transmitter charged up and plugged in. Take you guys into the other room and we'll check out the reception, so not the reception space, the ballroom, and it's gorgeous. First time at this venue and it's beautiful. You can tell by the floors, this is just the entryway, the hallway. My van's right there. Pretty quick load in to where I'm gonna be right there. But just taking a look at the hallway, looks like they've got some sunglasses. Really cool picture wall. This would be a really cool spot for a photo booth. They even have a plug here. The only issue is bathrooms are right here. It would get crowded, but this is a super photogenic spot. Look at this, Duo at the Dunes. I am getting over a little cold. Just if you hear it in my voice, that's what it is. But check this out. This room is gorgeous. They've got 235, they said, I think. And I am over here in the corner, which is a little unideal, but with the doors and whatnot behind me, but I'll probably just set up right here and get to business tonight. It's not the perfect setup for me, but we'll make it work. Look at the bar, it's gorgeous in here. They also added on some tube lighting tonight and some dance floor lighting. We've got some of that stuff to go around the room, but yeah, I would have much rather have just been like right there. That would have been great. And looks like they are pretty crowded tonight. Even got some chairs on the dance floor, but it's fine. It's a good sized dance floor, not huge, and better if it's this way. That way people don't feel super awkward on it. Let's take a look outside. I got here a little earlier than my assistant just so I could get some lights plugged in and charging. I love to charge them at the venues. Got a nice little courtyard area here, which is probably awesome for summertime, spring, fall events. Right now, a little too cold to be hanging out outside unless you're just taking a quick cigarette break. But we're also rocking the mustache today. That's new for us as well. Mary Beth will be here in a little bit. She's gonna MC with me tonight, and we're rocking with Chris and Foley Brothers, their holiday party. Hopefully we get to do it again next year. The holiday party we did last night didn't admit, it was just kind of a lot of stuff going on, and we were training. We are filming tonight, gonna get the gig log going. Make sure you guys drop a like. I'll show you all the stuff behind the setup, how we're gonna make everything look nice and festive, nice and Christmassy in here. And if you stick around all the way until the end of the video, I'm gonna give you some bonus tips. Make sure you hang around, just for you people who hang out the whole video, watch it through. I've got some bonus tips at the end for how you guys can rock your holiday parties, upcoming events. Stick around. We're in the middle of our setup and one of the employees walked in and asked if I wanted to be in the middle. And I said, absolutely. They're gonna lose a podium, use my podium, and I'll just hand off a mic whenever someone needs to talk. We're gonna put a speaker there, speaker there. We'll have some tube lights behind us, some up lights around the room, and we'll maybe put like the washes, the wash movers behind me somewhere. Not super sure yet. We'll figure it out. I always do. Our setup's coming along. We're sliding the speakers in a little bit more just because of the positioning of the tables. I think I'm gonna take one wash mover, put it here in the middle, and another one, put it there in the middle. I didn't bring the totems today, unfortunately, because I thought we were actually at a place with a stage. And then we'll spread those around kind of evenly. And we're gonna try to match the red and the blue over there. We're gonna keep setting up and take you guys along for the ride as we do it. All right, now we're gonna start setting up all our cables and everything. And to do this, I kind of want to make sure that we do it with a system and I'm not just like randomly doing things. It ends up taking more time. First, I'm gonna stage the whole set. That means I'm gonna put an XLR and a power cable on this speaker, XLR and a power cable over there. Any extension cords I need for those 2 speakers, I'm also gonna get them set. Everything's in place before I actually start plugging things in. I just kind of get everything staged. Same thing with these lights. I'm gonna drop some cables that I need there. And then once everything's dropped, then I'm just gonna work from right to left, start plugging things in.
And we don't tape any of our cables down until after we do our sound check. Once we do our sound check, everything's working properly, then we'll start taping cables, working on cable management, just to make sure that, you know, if we do have to rerun a cable or run a new cable, things aren't already taped down. It ends up taking us longer to get everything set up. Number one tip is have a system. That's my system. If it works for you, great. If you have something else that works, let me know down in the comments. First thing I gotta do is get power to everything. So we're gonna power up these lights. I'm gonna run an extension cord from this light over to that outlet, and then I'm gonna run that speaker to that outlet as well. As far as the DMX signal, we're gonna do that wirelessly. I also have to charge up some of those wireless Donners that I have, but this is gonna be my power over to that outlet. Again, I'm just gonna get it kind of roughly staged. Doesn't have to be perfect right now, but I just kind of wanna get things plugged in. That's gonna start doing some movements, all good. And then I'm gonna do same thing, power this bad boy up. This is a PowerCon cable. I just plug this right into the back, clips in. We're gonna run this one, outlet as well. I'm not gonna plug it in just yet because I'm still charging some tubes. And then for this side, I'm gonna have to do something a little bit different because we need 3 plugs. One for my DJ booth, one for that light, and one for the speaker. I'm still gonna kind of do the same thing, getting it all staged up. I'm gonna plug my PowerCon into this extension cable that I have. Just this cable ran. Bing, bada, boom. And then I'm gonna get this one plugged in. I might need a little extension for this too. It's always good to have extra of everything you need. I've got a ton of extension cables, a ton of backup XLRs, pretty much anything I could need. Actually, because I'm gonna run my power, a surge protector with a bunch of outlets from here to right behind this speaker, I think I actually can use that extension cord for this because that one will reach the surge protector. Instead, I'm gonna do this. So now the power's kind of ran for the most part. I'm just gonna run my XLRs, get them sorted. And I run everything in mono. Left, right, doesn't really matter where I plug it in on the speaker, but you're plugging it into the in because you're sending signal into the speaker from your controller. And then I'm just gonna kind of get this unraveled. I'll clean it up later. This is gonna run right to the back of the DJ booth. And at the bottom of my DJ booth, I have some little cables that are already pre-ran, such as my power, my XLRs, and there's a ton of mints down here. I have like these packets of mints and they always fall down, and there's like a graveyard of 600 cases of mints in here. So these are my 2 XLRs. One's gonna go into the speaker I just plugged in, and then I'm gonna run my other XLR. And then we'll run this power over to that surge protector with one of these extension cords. Same thing over here. Gonna take the XLR cable, get it all sorted out, plug it in. Again, I'm plugging in the male side into the speaker and the female side into my DJ. And it looks messy right now. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but I promise you, it's gonna look awesome when we're done. We've got our XLRs ran, and a lot of people would just leave it like this. They don't even, like me, I have OCD. Everything's gotta look like really neat and organized. Probably drives a lot of my people insane, but part of our look, part of our brand, you know, first impressions are everything. When people walk in and you've got your stuff together, it makes a big difference in the success of the event. Other than that, I'm just gonna run some power and we'll tune back in with you guys once we start doing some light stuff. Also, just wanna show you guys how I kinda organize my cables. They're not, long story short, but they're supposed to be. But I normally just throw XLRs in these pockets, extension cables in these pockets, and then everything else kind of goes in here. Is a mishmash of wires everywhere. I know where things are, but I could use a more organized system of keeping things together because there's like tons of wires that are together, but I just kind of throw them in here at the end of the event, and I know I have everything I need in this bag, but I think I got it on Amazon. I forget what it's called. It's called Hodrant. This is how I organize my cables. I keep everything in there, and it's been super durable. Gets everything where it needs to go. I would love an option on wheels. So if anyone has anything, let me know down in the comments. But things are looking bad right now. We'll get it cleaned up. Don't worry. All of our cables are kind of all over the place right now, and I'm gonna show you guys how I manage them up just to keep things kind of neat and more manageable. I will do like these little service loops, and I'll just kind of try to tuck them behind the speaker. It might not look perfect just yet, but once I get enough cable, I can kind of start stacking things on top of each other. And I try to keep the XLRs away from the power cable just because if you don't have really good shielding, which is like the rubber part around the cable, you can get what's called a ground hum. I try to separate them as much as I can. It's not always super possible, but I'll just kind of start putting things behind the speaker like this. And then I'll grab the XLR and I'll do kind of the same thing. I'll just loop it up until I get rid of a lot of that excess cable. That'll be here, and I'll just kind of put that to the side right now. And then I just kind of push things up against the wall. I'll do like that, but what I want is tension on my cable. The first place I tape it is right at the bottom of my DJ. I'm gonna actually grab some tape this here, tape it behind my DJ. That way when I pull, I can get that tight tension and get rid of all those wrinkles in the cable. So I'm gonna find my tape. I know I said I wasn't gonna tape anything until sound check was over, but just to get things under control, I'm gonna tape this small section. Grab a little piece of tape. Also, get yourself a gravity mat. Those things will save your feet and your back for sure. I try to tuck things in here that I won't need, and then I'm just gonna kind of tidy them up a little bit. First thing I do is I put the tape down on one side and I fold it. Hey Kelsey, how are we? I have that piece of tape down there, and the reason I put that one side down first is I can make sure I don't have that like ramp. I want the tape to be as close to the cables as possible. That way they don't start to pull up like and create unevenness. Then I'm going to go straight back to the wall with this, straight back to the wall with this, and same thing here. And that just in itself makes things look much neater. Just for the second, I'm gonna put my knee down on the wire, grab another piece of tape. If you're on carpet, you're gonna want a good amount because it's tougher to stick tape to the carpet than it is to hardwood floor. So again, one side, touch it right to the wires, and then bada boom, bada bang. And then when I put my mat over that, it will be fine. My mat's gonna be here. I also taped the mat down on the side so it doesn't move around on me all night. But if you remember at the start of this clip, how messy the wires were, now we just kind of have them ran along the back, and that'll probably be as good as it gets for tonight on that side. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. That's how I manage my cables. Service loops, a little bit of tape, a little bit of care, push things up against the wall, and it will look nice. And this is how the other side came out. Mary Beth did it, and this is before any tape. This looks great. From a distance, our cables look 10 times better than they did 10 minutes ago. And I still got about an hour and a half, I think, to get everything set up and ready to go. And this is our final result right here. We've got all our lights set up, speakers set up, DJ booth set up, and this is what it's gonna look like when they walk in. To chill it out a little bit for dinner, and then during dance time, all the lights will be going crazy. It'll be a good time. Got the both 360 tubes, LD Maui 44G2s. They're both lighting wash movers, 19 by 15. Floorboard DJ booth, Rev 7 DJ controller. Controlling our lights today with sound switch. And same thing over on this side. And the room already has like built-in up lighting. We didn't throw any around, but looks awesome in here. All right, this is the cocktail overflow room, but cocktail hour just started. We've got one Maui in this corner, one Maui in the other corner. I guess they're starting to arrive. We're gonna sneak on out of here. They got a nice little display here in the middle. All right, we are all set up. Cocktail hour is finishing up right now, and the guests are gonna start filtering in. We're gonna fire up some music. This is our setup for the night. We got our lights set up, and our DJ booth, and our speakers. We're ready to go, and guests will be here any moment. Nice assortment of chicken parm, some scalloped potatoes, prime rib, rice pilaf, and some salad. Just gonna hang out here and eat, and then it's time to dance them. Okay, our event just wrapped up and we're starting our breakdown right now. We've got a lot of stuff pretty much already broken down. It was a great party, a lot of success. Some people are still here hanging out, but the room's pretty much empty for the most part. And that was a job well done. I think that was a great party, and we're just gonna get the stuff loaded up and be out of here. Should be a pretty quick breakdown. We've got pretty much everything already put away. Now we just gotta bring it out to the van.
If you made it this far in the video, I know I promised you guys some tip. Here they are. My first #1 tip is talk to your client. Have a planning form. A lot of people don't even do planning forms for holiday parties. You got to have an idea going into the night, what's going on, what your expectations are, what their expectations are, rather. That way you guys have a clear-cut understanding of, timeline of events. It's no different than a wedding. People are coming. I mean, it's different than a wedding, but it's no different. You have to program, you have to plan ahead of time. The more you know what's going to be happening, the more people's names you have, the more information you have. It's good to have the CEO's name. It's good to have the name of the company. It's good to have like a lot of things that we would think are stuff that we want to know, it's good to have that information written down by the client ahead of time. Have a planning form. I'll show you guys real quick on the screen right now what my planning forms look like for corporate holiday parties. I just asked some questions that contain some information that I want to know. Obviously, you can customize yours and ask the questions that you want to know, but I think it's super important to have information going into the night. Are there any activities planned? Are there cocktails being served? Or is there dinner? What is the style of the dinner? Is it buffet? Are you gonna have to call tables, go get tables? What's the expectation here? Also, do you call tables? Let me know in the comments. Will you call tables at weddings? Will you go up and get tables? Do you leave that up to the venue coordinators? I'm not gonna mention my opinion on it, but what is yours? Just curious. Those are things that are all important to understand ahead of time. Make sure you have some sort of planning done. Do a call or two with your client ahead of time and get some music that they like. Ask them, what kind of music do you guys like? Obviously, you're gonna be able to tell when you get there if, you're a DJ's DJ. If you can read a crowd, you'll be able to tell. But my number 2 tip is when it's time to open the dance floor, turn the lights down. Have some lights. It is painstaking and awkward to do a holiday party in a bright room. A lot of holiday parties are awkward to begin with. There's a lot of factors to consider. Is it open bar? Is it not open bar? Do they have to pay for their drinks? Do they only get one free drink? Are they drinking? Is it a no bar? These are all things to think about when figuring out how to approach your dance floor later on in the night. If it's not open bar, it's gonna probably not be as fun. Open bar ones tend to be more fun. Like this video was open bar. The one the night before wasn't open bar. There's a lot of things to think about going into it, but coordinate with the venue ahead of time. Make sure that you know where the lights are in the room. You can bring the lights down when it's time to dance them, and you can bring your lights up if you have some lights, Definitely, I recommend having some sort of party light, something that'll help set the mood and set that distinction from dinner time to dance time. Oh, the lights came down and there's lights going on now. So, let's go dance. Oh, it's like a club in here. Let's go have fun. You got to set the expectation. You got to create the atmosphere for them. You have to create the atmosphere for them. The other thing that I think is super important with holiday parties is don't overthink it. It's not much different than a wedding. A lot of the same people that would go to a wedding would go to a holiday party. Yeah, they're gonna be a little more reserved at their holiday party, but sometimes these people are ready to get rowdy. Approach it kind of the same way you would approach a wedding or just, a private event. Like, it's the same people at weddings that are at corporate parties, that are at private events. Just check them out. See what you think they're gonna like. If you can get a list ahead of time, that's always helpful. And then just, during dinner, start spinning a little bit. See what they start reacting to, and, give yourself 10 songs towards the end of dinner to spin to live DJ if you're just putting on a playlist and going and eating or something. Give yourself at least 10 songs at the tail end of dinner to play, because a lot of times when they're just walking in, we're playing like holiday music, a Spotify list, I don't know, some DJs will auto mix on virtual, some DJs will live DJ. It's a lot of different things depending on who you are, but holiday parties, a lot of times during cocktail hour when the guests are arriving, you don't need the music to be bumping. It should be going a little bit, but it can be like holiday music, especially around this time of year. That's kind of the approach we've taken, the first hour or so, do some holiday music, then start kind of mixing, feeling them out during dinner, and then once it's time for dance time, we kind of have an idea of where to take the night. Those are my top 3 tips for approaching holiday parties. Don't overthink it. Also, what do you guys think of the cable management tips down below? Let me know. We're 150 subscribers away at the moment. Please hit that subscribe button.